Well, being men and women who will eventually ply our ships over the world's oceans or fly our planes in the airways over around our globe, it will be helpful to know a couple little terms. And there is one here that is very nautical. It's called degrees, minutes, and seconds. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, the whole idea is actually very simple. We can divide up a degree into what's called minutes and seconds, and it is pretty much what you would expect. Degrees, each 1 degree of rotation can be divided into 60 minutes, and we use a little hash mark to represent minutes. Right, so 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. And of course, every minute, as we know from our watches, has 60 seconds. So we use a double hash mark there, and that's what we call a second. Now, a second and a minute corresponds to something like our position on the globe. We can even think of it in terms of the amount of time it would take for the sun to transit between a degree or 1/60th of a degree or 1/3600th of a degree, right, in terms of minutes and seconds on one of those normal hour hands on our clocks within a 24-hour period. So there is some correspondence to that. So we should be able, if we're given an angle, to determine where we're at in terms of degrees and minutes and seconds, that kind of thing. And a way to do it is very direct right here. Let's say that, for instance, I wanted to convert an angle from degrees, minutes, seconds to decimal form. So I'm going to take my angle of let's make one up here. Let's say that we're at 10 degrees, 30 seconds, 30 minutes, pardon me, and 10 seconds, right? And let's convert that angle into a decimal form. Well, what would we do? Well, I'm going to get my calculator right here, and I'm going to start with my seconds. To do this, I'm going to take, we're going to treat this as 10 degrees, 30 minutes plus 10 sixtieths of a minute, right? So we divide by 60. So my calculator, I divide 10 by 60. 10 divided by 60 is going to give me 0.167 repeating. So I'll just go ahead and give you 3 decimals, right? So this is like saying 10 degrees added to 30.167 minutes. Well, what about that 30.167 minutes? Well, we could think of it as 10 degrees, and we're adding 30.167 sixtieths of a degree, right? Because every minute represents 1/60th. So we're going to take this. I'm going to add by 30. Here's 30. 30.16667 repeating. I'm going to divide that by 60. 0.5027. So this is really the same thing as 10.5028 degrees when I round it up there. 10.5028 degrees, right? Now, of course, we can go from decimal form to degrees, minutes, and seconds just as well, right? If we wanted to go the other direction, let's say that I had an angle of 5.75 degrees, and I wanted to convert that into degrees, minutes, seconds. What will it look like? Well, it will be 5 degrees plus 0.75 more degrees. If we want to change that, that should be 0.75 degrees. I'm going to take that 0.75 and I'm going to multiply that by 60. So 0.75 times 60. So 0.75 times 60 is going to give me 45 minutes. So 5 degrees and 45 minutes. And since that divided evenly, we're going to say that there are 0 seconds right here. So this is now degrees, minutes, second form. Just by way of interest right here, Our school happens to be in Newport, Rhode Island, right here located at 41 degrees, 31 minutes, 6 degrees north, 71 degrees, 19 minutes, 38 degrees west. If we wanted to do that, I'm going to give you an assignment here. Convert your latitude and longitude where you are currently. This is called a latitude, pardon me, latitude. Latitudes go north and south here. And your longitude. Longitude is measured from Greenwich, England, so right about here, 0 degrees, measured east and west, right? That's our longitude. So, as an assignment, find your latitude and longitude in decimal form instead. What does it look like? Good luck.